Hi, Louise and Tanner. It's Sue again. I'm out on my porch, kind of closed-in porch, and it's a little chilly, so I have the heater on. I hope that doesn't make too much noise. The first thing I'm going to do is launch Photoshop, which I've already launched, and I'm also going to go where I already did it. Sorry. Um, I went to the Magic site and I took a screen grab of a character, so I'm going to open up that character. Hold on. Um, it's his name. I think is Karn. I'm gonna give you guys this file in the what do we call that? Google Classroom. So you'll have this. The first thing we're going to learn how to do today is make a selection. I want to select just this guy. So over in my tools, I'm going to go over to this thing that says Quick Selection Tool, and I can choose my brush size. The bigger the brush, the bigger the area, obviously, that it selects. So maybe I'll go up a little bit, maybe to 20 pixels. And watch what happens. I hold the mouse down and I click and drag it around, and it's going to select similar pixels. This gets a little tricky when you get close to the edge. So I'll show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to make as much of this selection as I can, like this. Oops, see what just happened? So if I undo, it undoes everything. Command Z is undo. I'm going to make my pick brush smaller this time, so let's try it again. Go down to like 10 or so. Oh, I can just key it in. 10. Oh, not 9, 10. 10. Holy smokes. Okay, just 10. Yay. Okay, so click and drag, click and drag, click and drag. And it may not be perfecto, but we'll get close, and I'll show you how you can modify this after. So I'm just holding down the mouse and dragging, and you might want to play around with this. Like the tricky part's going to be when I get close to the hand here, it's going to want to jump. Well, that wasn't so bad. Sometimes it wants to jump. Oh, it jumped. But I'm going to go with that. I'm just going to go up here and get a little bit of that highlight. So I'm going close to the edge now. I just have to be careful that I don't go outside the edge much or at all. So I want to get as much of him as oops, so I just jumped again. But let's go with this. I'm going to show you how to modify. Well, that's kind of crappy. Hold on, let's try again. Command D is deselect. So I guess we're learning a lot as we go here. Command D is deselect. That's a good thing to know because, all right, so I'm going to be a little bit more careful. Well, and that thing over there is inevitable, I think. So hopefully I can. I'm not going to be so picky this time because you could be doing this forever. Okay. All right, I'm going to stop there and I'll show you how you make edits. So now you go to select, modify, go select and mask. Sorry. Okay, now up here, oops, let's get rid of this. Remind me tomorrow. I'm going to view with the overlay, which is red. I like that one better. Onion skin is fine, but it doesn't show me the edges as good. You can you can experiment. I like the red. So what I want to do is go back in now. Let's see if I can move this thing. Okay. And I'm going to go over here, and if I go like this, it erases. So I'm going to do Command Z for undo. If I hold the Shift key down, it adds to, whoops, sorry. I'm going to use the red one. Sorry, hold down the Option key. And I'm painting in now areas that I want masked. And now I'm going to not hold the Option key, and I'm going to go to areas where I want to add. And just, do you see how that's adding? And again, you can change your brush size to make it smaller or larger. I'll go smaller so that I can get into these little spaces. So wherever there's red that I don't want, whoops, I went a little too far. So I'm going to hold the Option key. Okay. All right. So that was a goof. Command Z. So you can see this is a little bit more challenging than some of the things we've been learning. And you can zoom in if you want to get closer to see what's going on. And go back to your brush. So wherever there's red, I just want to, that's on the guy that I want to see. And it doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, it's what you want it. So Command Z, I just goofed again. Don't go too far. And maybe I'm being a little too picky here. Whoop, Command Z. All right, I'm going to leave some of this. So I'm going to say, oh, we got to paint this in. Option. All right. Let me zoom out here. Holding down the Option key with the zoom tool. Okay, so we made a selection, we modified it. Whoops. I just saw an area that we need to add. Okay. And I can bring up the opacity of the red so I can see a harder edge. And I can bring it down. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to do Smart Radius. And I'm going to bring it up a pixel. And I'm going to smooth out the edges. The shifting, feathering softens, like feathers it out. That's not what I want today. Contrast makes the edge hard. Let's go 50-ish. Shifting brings it in towards the gentleman or out. Do you see that? So I'm going to leave it at, well, maybe I'll do negative just in case I goofed a little. I'll do negative 50 and say okay. All right, so we've selected this guy. I'm going to go now to the item tool and I'm going to do edit, copy, and we're going to create a new document. File, new, and I'm going to leave it just like this, just like the way it's defaulting. Say okay, and now I'm going to do edit, paste, and there's my guy. So we made a selection, we've modified it, we've copied it, we created a new document, and now we paste it into selection. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to unlock the background, and I'm going to make a new layer. So let's do a new layer. And I'm going to put it on top of this guy. So I'm switching the layering. And I'm going to do Command A for select all. And I'm going to put in the red. So I did Option delete. Now watch what I'm going to try here. I'm going to change the layer. Now see how I'm choosing different things? You're going to get different effects. So I'm going to do hard light, but then I'm going to change the opacity. Now he's looking too pink. Let me go back to 100 and, ooh, that's cool. Wow. All kinds of things we can play with here. Well, you can choose whatever you want. I'm gonna do vivid light. In the background now, I'll do select all, and I'm gonna change this color. And you can play around with this. And I'm going to do option delete. Whoa, look what that did. I'm gonna change the opacity of this layer. Guess that's not gonna do anything. Let's go back up here and see about a different, ooh, hard mix, kind of looks cartoony. Notice how the background now changes. Ooh. Oh, I like that. I'm gonna go with that. All right, I'm gonna file, save as, and I'm gonna call this Karn Red. All right, I'm gonna save it to the Magic folder. And that was a video on, again, selecting, modifying, copying, pasting, changing, and blending. All right, I hope that worked out okay for everyone. It was a little bumpy, but I am now going to quit QuickTime. Quit. Let's call this Karn Red.